Now we go over to home, and I'm going to talk about Calling from Accounts. Calling from Accounts on BBC iPlayer. Now, at the moment, there seems to be this thing where people seem to think, okay, we're in England, we have got all this English TV, we've imported a whole bunch of American stuff, and Australia seems to be like this new frontier in which they're bringing more stuff in and they're bringing things in, and they're bringing an Australian look on certain things. So I mean, there's a TV show called what's it called? There's the TV show called Bump, which is all about a teenager who gets pregnant while at school, even though she's like a straight A student, and how she navigates being a mother, like being a mother while trying to achieve everything by being a straight A student. And there's another one called The Letdown, which is all about
Queen of whatever. Is it the Queen of Oz?
it's Queen of Oz, yeah, Queen of Oz with Catherine Tate going over to Australia, and and Calling from Accounts is part of this glut, and I think Calling from Accounts is possibly one of the most acclaimed ones. This is pretty much a rom com with an Aussie bent. So it's pretty much a rom com with an Australian sense of humor. Because if I think about everything that happens in Calling from Accounts, it follows a structure. It follows a structure. There's a meet cute at the beginning but it's a meet cute done in a very Australian way. The kind of thing which it's like something happens. Which I was wondering whether to mention this in the review as to what happens in the first 5 minutes of this show, and I've decided not to mention it, not to say it. But something happens in the first 5 minutes of this show that leads to somebody running over a dog with a car. And the fact that this dog is running over the car brings these two people together. There's a guy and a guy and a girl played by Patrick Bramall and Harriet Dyer, who are actually a couple in real life. And they meet up. She's a medical student trying to go through things. He's an older guy who is trying to run a pub, like a microbrewery. And it's all about them meeting over this dog. And then what happens? It's only 8 episodes long. Each one of them is like about half an hour. And you have your meet cute, you have your beginnings of, oh, is there something there? You have the old girlfriend who's coming in and it's like saying things about stuff, and you have the old boyfriend, and you have complications, and then you have do we know whether this is going to work or not? And then you have the conclusion of whether it is going to work or not. It's a rom-com. It is a rom-com in every sense of the word, and what elevates this above rom-com full stop is the fact that I think the sense of humor is new, and it hasn't really been seen that much it hasn't been done to death. The sense of humor hasn't been done to death because it's Australian. And also the fact that it is very sort of like biting and very observant about the relationships and of the characters. Like, you believe these characters exist. You believe that they will be like that. And they don't try and do the whole rom-com thing of, oh yeah, and guess what? Oh, she has a gay best friend and all that kind of stuff. And oh yeah, look at her. She's a hot mess, but really, really, she's really likable at heart. No, these characters, they have moments where you go, I don't like them. Actually, maybe that's just because they're like real people. And Holly, I think you particularly would love Calling from Accounts. It will not take up that much of your time. And obviously the dog that they run over is essentially, there's Instagram pages dedicated to this dog now because people love the dog. And he is one of these so small kind of terrier looking things.
Scruffy dogs.
Yeah, he's like a scruffy looking dog. And I don't think there's much else I could say about it, but it's that's about it. It's Australian, it's a rom-com, but it's good. See it for this. It is funny. It is painful in bits. There are definitely cringe moments. It definitely has its cringe comedy moments, which I am not the biggest fan of, but they do work. They do work. And that's all I can say. I feel as I say usually when I talk about comedies, without just trying to regurgitate all the best jokes in a very, very bad way, without telling them all the best jokes in a bad way, all I can say is watch it, figure it out, make up your own mind. But I would recommend Calling from Accounts. I think it is worth its hype, and it's one of those things that you can see how they would do another season, and there's a bit of you that wants to see another season, another bit of you that goes, but if you go much longer, you're going to lose something. So, yeah. Calling from Accounts, 4 out of 5.
Excellent.
Yes.